Hey everyone, it's Kong with another episode of Should You Summon. As always, I'm going to be presenting high-level overviews to help you decide whether this banner is worth your hard-earned vouchers and crystals. It's finally here? The crossover no one asked for, and judging from Chinese revenue numbers, no one paid for. That's right, it's Captain Commando, a relatively obscure Capcom arcade beat-em-up based on their old attempt at a company mascot character. Suffice it to say, Mario and Sonic are not worried about this guy. The banner runs from November 14th to December 11th. The two double hero units you can summon are Captain Commando and Baby Head, and Mack the Knife and Ginzu the Ninja, with a 40% chance each. Of course, the remaining 20% chance is reserved for any random off-banner in the regular summoning pool, including another unpopular double hero unit. Alright, let's get started with the star of the show, Captain Commando and Babyhead. Capcom has sunglasses and a badge. Babyhead is a genius scientist who, get this, cheats death by reincarnating himself as his own great-grandson. That's why he's a genius and a baby. Their AoE skills deal up to 30% more damage and have a 300% bonus against enemies with no troops. In his Capcom class, he gets another 10% AoE damage boost from his Heart Bond. Their talent lets them build up buff stacks and then act again when they hit the cap. Their unique one-cost skill is a single-target melee AoE, you heard me, that can cool down faster if you have talent stacks. They also have access to a one-cost revive skill. They have two unique two-cost skills. The Capcom line has a teleport that AoEs enemies at the end of 3 lines, increasing their damage taken. The Baby line has another single-target AoE that displaces the target and prevents them from moving. Their 3C is a self-centered AoE with an additional AoE splash that inflicts a fixed damage effect on everyone it hits. They're members of Protagonists, buffed by Matthew, Emperor Lovina, and Zion, Heroes of Time, buffed by Joshua, Angelica, Yusuke, and the Awakened One, and Strategic Masters, buffed by Altemuller, Lanford, and Grenshiel. For content, in PvE, they're on faction for Phoenix in the Eternal Temple, and Sleipnir, Jormungandr, and Hugin and Munin in Ancient Beckoning. I haven't seen them in any of the top-scoring AB teams, but to be honest, after the Enya update, AB scoring almost doesn't matter anymore. On the PvP side, they can definitely be used in AoE-based rush teams. For their build, Capcom is an AoE man, and baby, but you're going to be running him in his Capcom class. Use Balanced Blade, Team Its Blessing if you have it, or something like Forbidden Defenders or even Carbon Fiber if you don't. Fury of Tyr, and Apex Boots, enchanted with Breeze. That'll be a solid set for Rush. Okay, let's move on to Mack the Knife and Ginzu the Ninja. Mack is a totally rad alien who looks like a mummy. Ginzu the Ninja is a ninja. They have plus 25% attack and crit chance, as well as plus 1 unit range. Their talent gimmick is based on mobility. In their initial stance, they can ignore guard. If they use all their mobility in a turn, then they switch stances and can attack again after getting a kill. Their unique one-cost skill adds fixed damage to their other attacks, and heals them for the amount of fixed damage they deal. They have two unique two-cost skills. The Ginzu line has a 3-line AoE that steals a buff, and if they're in their second stance, lets them move again. The Mack line has a single-target attack that pre-debuffs the target with a horrifying curse that turns an incoming buff into a debuff. When the target dies, it creates a ground effect that causes this same debuff to any enemy who stands on it. Gross. Gross. Their 3C is a single-target attack with increased crit rate. If they're in their initial stance, this skill has First Strike. Launching this attack also causes a smoke effect on your tile, which lets nearby allies dodge an incoming attack, Himiko or Shinpachi style. An AoE skill will disperse the smoke. They're members of Protagonists, buffed by Matthew, Emperor Lovina, and Zion, Heroes of Time, buffed by Joshua, Angelica, Yusuke, and the Awakened One, and Meteor Strike, buffed by Zerida and Epsilon. For content, in PvE they're on faction for Phoenix and Scylla in the Eternal Temple, and Jormungandr and Hugin and Munin in Ancient Beckoning. On the PvP side, unlike Capcom, Mack and Ginzu become much more of a staple in Apex Arena. They will be meta killing machines for a few seasons to come. Kill tanks, kill squishies, good deal. For their build, we finally have a use for all those copies of the new bow we've been inundated with. Or, use Stinger. Last Rites, Owl Hat, and then either Butterfly or Celestial Planisphere are great accessories for him, depending on who you're going up against. With these battle passes, equipment and accessories in particular are the new frontline of the power creep wars. If you're like me and you don't have either new accessory, just put something on that'll increase his damage. Maybe a Judge Talisman. Clock is great, Full Moon works as well. Breeze is always a solid investment. Go in Mack the Knife mode for better defensive stats and a nice plus 10% damage bonus from his Heart Bond. Okay, that brings us to the notes for noobs. Captain Commando and Baby Head are pretty much AoE guys that you're really only going to want to field if you're running an AoE rush team in PvP. For PvE, you can kind of use them for whatever, just if you want to have fun with a baby in a mech running around. I would say the main reason to summon for them though, especially since bonds aren't a factor with crossover units, is just going to be for collection purposes. Mack the Knife and Ginzu the Ninja, on the other hand, are PvP meta units. So if you pay attention to Apex Arena, this is a unit that you're going to want to summon for, build them up, and then start killing people with them. PvE doesn't matter as much with these guys, but I'm going to say, for PvP purposes, must summon. And finally, that means it's time for my usual reminder about upcoming banners. The remainder of this month features the usual Langrisser 1 to 5 wishlist banners, plus the return of the whole Tyrant family, a raid-up banner featuring Grenshiel and Tyrantel, and a Destiny banner featuring Andriole, Hilda, and Patricia. The remaining Destiny banners have Rachel, Lana, and Tiaris, Zerida, Titalia, and Girl in the Shell, and Rosalia, Emilia, and Sissy White. Next month is the next Anniversary banner, and accordingly, the next bananas broken character, Enya. She creates a whole-ass copy of another unit, one of yours or one of your opponents. Since it's an anniversary, it'll also come with hero and equipment wish lists, and reruns of the previous pre-LLR limited hero banners, so Watham, Awakened One, Apotheosis. And Emir's also in there somewhere, hot damn. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I am sadly still going to try to secure one copy of each unit, mainly for collection purposes because I'm still salty about my missing Shaltier. But I do have to keep some in the tank for next month for sure. Enya is just ridiculous. First ban in PvP, and basically breaks all PvE. So let me know what you're thinking. Drop your summoning plans in the comments below or on This Old Neon's Discord. Thank you so much for watching. Extra special thanks, of course, to our Langrisser tier channel members Levitt, Jerome Meyer, Kate Soon, and Jorge Luis. I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll catch you in the next Should You Summon.